In today's fast-paced world, processed and packaged foods are a part of daily life. While they offer convenience, they also often come with hidden amounts of sugars, unhealthy fats, sodium, and preservatives. Nutrition labels serve as a crucial tool to help consumers make informed choices about what they are putting into their bodies. Learning to read and understand these labels like a pro is not just about counting calories. It's about evaluating the quality of the food, understanding serving sizes, deciphering ingredient lists, and recognizing hidden risks. Today, we will talk about how to read nutrition labels like a pro. Starting with the serving size, the foundation of understanding. The first and arguably most important part of a nutrition label is the serving size. Every other piece of information on the label is based on this reference amount. Many consumers glance over the serving size, assuming the listed calories and nutrients are for the entire package, but often, packages contain multiple servings. For example, a small bag of chips might appear to contain 150 calories, but a closer look reveals that the bag contains 2 servings, meaning if you eat the entire bag, you actually consume 300 calories. Serving sizes are typically listed in both common measurements like cups or pieces and in grams or milliliters for precision. Always adjust your understanding of the nutritional content according to how much you actually intend to eat compared to the listed serving. Calories, not just about the numbers. The next section prominently displays the number of calories per serving. While calorie counting can be helpful for weight management, it's essential to remember that not all calories are created equal. 100 calories from a sugary soda have a very different nutritional impact compared to 100 calories from a serving of almonds. Therefore, while reading the calorie content, it's equally important to look at the source of those calories. High-calorie foods rich in fiber, protein, and healthy fats can be much more beneficial than lower-calorie foods filled with refined sugars or trans fats. Furthermore, be aware of calorie density. Some foods pack a lot of calories into a small volume, making it easier to overconsume them without realizing it. Understanding the macronutrients, fat, carbohydrates, and protein. Nutrition labels break down the content of macronutrients, fats, carbohydrates, and proteins. Under fats, you will often see subcategories like saturated fats, trans fats, and sometimes unsaturated fats. Saturated and trans fats are the unhealthy types of fat associated with increased heart disease risk. Ideally, you want to minimize trans fat intake entirely and keep saturated fats low. Good fats, monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats contribute to heart health and are typically not listed separately, but recognizing that foods like nuts, avocados, and fish provide these beneficial fats is useful. Carbohydrates are divided into dietary fiber, total sugars, and added sugars. Fiber is beneficial and should be consumed in high amounts, while added sugars are detrimental when consumed in excess and should be minimized. Protein is a key macronutrient that supports muscle health, metabolic function, and satiety. Foods higher in protein are often preferable, especially for active individuals or those managing their weight. Decoding the percent daily value, percent DV, percent daily value, or percent DV provides a quick reference to see how much a nutrient in one serving contributes to the total daily recommended amount based on a standard 2,000-calorie diet. A percent DV of 5% or less is considered low, whereas 20% or more is considered high. This guideline helps consumers gauge whether a food is a good source of certain nutrients like fiber, calcium, iron, or vitamin D, or whether it is high in undesirable nutrients like sodium, saturated fat, or added sugars. However, it's important to remember that your personal caloric and nutrient needs might differ based on age, gender, activity level, and specific health goals. Thus, while percent DV is a helpful starting point, it should be adjusted in your mind according to your own dietary needs. Sodium, the hidden threat in processed foods. One of the most overlooked but critical components of a nutrition label is the sodium content. High sodium intake is strongly linked to increased blood pressure and a higher risk of heart disease and stroke. Many packaged foods, including those not traditionally considered salty, such as breads, cereals, and canned vegetables, contain surprisingly high amounts of sodium. Ideally, daily sodium intake should be limited to less than 2,300 milligrams and even lower for certain populations, such as individuals with hypertension. When reading labels, foods with 140 milligrams of sodium or less per serving are considered low-sodium options. Always keep an eye out for sneaky sources of salt like sodium bicarbonate, baking soda, monosodium glutamate, MSG, and sodium nitrate in ingredient lists. Added sugars versus natural sugars. One of the newer updates to nutrition labels, especially in countries like the United States, is the separate listing of added sugars. Naturally occurring sugars found in fruits, vegetables, and dairy are different from sugars added during processing. Added sugars contribute empty calories without providing any nutritional benefit. High consumption of added sugar is associated with obesity, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and even certain cancers. Added sugars should make up no more than 10% of your daily caloric intake, and less is better. When you see high levels of added sugars on a label, especially in products like yogurt, granola bars, cereals, and sauces, it's a clear sign to reconsider the choice. Ingredients list, where the real story lies. While the nutrition facts panel provides quantitative data, the ingredients list tells you the qualitative story of what you're about to eat. Ingredients are listed in descending order by weight, meaning the first few ingredients make up the bulk of the product. A long ingredients list filled with hard-to-pronounce chemicals, preservatives, and artificial additives is often a red flag. Look out for hidden sugars under names like dextrose, maltose, syrup, cane juice, and fructose. Similarly, avoid products with hydrogenated oils, a source of harmful trans fats, or artificial colors and flavors. Ideally, the ingredient list should be short and made up of recognizable whole food components. Identifying marketing tricks and misleading claims. Food packaging is often designed to grab attention with bold claims like low-fat, sugar-free, natural, or gluten-free. However, these claims can be misleading if not backed up by the facts on the nutrition label. For instance, low-fat foods often compensate by adding extra sugar to maintain flavor. Natural has no standardized legal definition in many countries and does not necessarily mean the food is healthy or minimally processed. Gluten-free foods are essential for those with celiac disease but are not automatically healthier for the general population. The best way to protect yourself from marketing gimmicks is to ignore the front of the package and instead carefully analyze the nutrition facts and ingredient list on the back. Special considerations, allergens, vitamins, and minerals. Nutrition labels are also critical for individuals with food allergies or intolerances. Common allergens like milk, eggs, fish, shellfish, tree nuts, peanuts, wheat, and soybeans are typically highlighted either within the ingredient list or under a separate contains statement. Beyond macronutrients, some labels also list important vitamins and minerals such as vitamin D, calcium, iron, and potassium. These nutrients are essential for bone health, blood function, and overall well-being. Choosing foods that contribute positively to your intake of these critical micronutrients can help prevent deficiencies and support long-term health. Learning to compare similar products. Reading nutrition labels allows you to become a savvy shopper by comparing similar products to make healthier choices. For instance, two brands of peanut butter might look identical at first glance, but a closer inspection reveals that one has no added sugars or hydrogenated oils, while the other contains multiple additives. Similarly, among cereals, one brand might have significantly more fiber and less sugar per serving than another. Practicing side-by-side comparisons sharpens your ability to identify better nutritional profiles and resist the temptation of purely marketing-driven choices, making label reading a habit for lifelong health. Mastering the art of reading nutrition labels is a vital skill that goes far beyond simple calorie counting. It involves a deeper understanding of serving sizes, calorie sources, macronutrient balance, hidden additives, marketing tactics, and ingredient quality. Initially, taking the time to scrutinize every package might seem tedious, but over time it becomes second nature, leading to better grocery shopping habits, improved meal planning, and overall healthier eating.